I got to ask, because we all have, not all of us, but we have that partner or a spouse. Like, what was she saying when you were like, hey, I'm an engineer. Now I want to try this real estate investing on the side. You obviously were doing both. So you didn't want to leave the food on the table type of opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, we
business.
had baby on the way and get at home. She's like, what are you doing? Quitting your job? Her grandma actually called me and said, what are you doing? You have a master's degree. You're quitting your job to go full-time real estate, and said, you better know what you're doing. I had to build that trust a little bit with my wife. We ended up wholesaling an 18 unit. I put $100,000 in the bank and said, I'm doing this. And that's awesome. There's a little bit of trust that she had to have in me and confidence, but we had kind of a track record that we were working from.
That's cool.
So
that's awesome.
We quit, didn't make a dime for 6 to 7 months, but we haven't looked back since then.
Hi, and welcome to the Flat Bill Investors Podcast. I'm Josh Zaglowski.
And I'm Zach Spencer. Welcome. Hey, Josh, I'm happy to be back in the saddle today with you. Want to start out by saying we have a sponsor that has been helping us out with the channel. Really, really unique products. We've gotten swag. I mean, you always get different swag things from a lot of different people, but Cole over at Drip Swag has helped sponsor this channel. And I just want to say thank you to him.
Very unique. I mean, he's got on some cool stuff. I mean, a lot of you guys have probably seen our post that we did during Christmas time. It's like a ghost board with our faces on it because of our cartoon piece that we do with the Flat Bill Investors Podcast. So thank you, Drip Swag. And if you guys want to know any more, just hit the link below and then get with Drip Swag. But without further ado today.
No, that's great. So anyway, today we get to talk about one of the most invigorating subjects, which is engineering. If everybody just went to sleep, I'm just kidding. You can wake up, but we do have an engineer. We have a family man with us. He's got 4 kids. We'll talk about that a little bit, but is doing some different and kind of revolutionary things with engineering in my point of view.
And background with real estate.
Yeah. So anyway, it's just a really cool crossover with engineering, which you think would be like kind of a boring. You're like, okay, let's do the math on the weight of bricks and other things. But we have Jaiden Olsen with us today. Hey, welcome, Jaiden.
Welcome,
Jaiden.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for being here, man.
Happy to have you.
Yeah. To that point of being one of the things I went through in college, because in college, my very first year, you're always trying to find your purpose, right? What are you going to go into? What are you going to go into? Oh, just generals. Well, anyways, I was at Rick's College. Now it's BYU of Idaho. And I went to an intro engineering class, believe it or not. And I just, at the very end, I was like, this isn't for me, and it's definitely for a lot of people. And I work with engineers all the time. So we all have that, abilities in different ways. It just wasn't mine. I was so lost in that intro to engineering course. So So what got you into it? Was that one of your first things?
Stop you okay,
go ahead.
I made a mistake. I forgot to switch my flat bill. Here we go. Here's this. Oh, it's too big too.
Ballpark engineering. You should have tested that. I do have
my nice bald head.
Well, why are you doing that? Being that, when people are trying to find their ways, was it like second year, third year after generals? What kind of?
No, actually,
family member?
My dad's a general contractor. I grew up in the construction industry. I graduated high school in 2009. And what do we know about that time? There was no construction jobs available. So I actually went back to school because I didn't really have much of a choice. And engineering was something that was intriguing to me. I always wanted to be in the big projects. Construction world was kind of my jam. And I figured maybe I'll go white collar instead of blue collar. So engineering was kind of the direction that I headed. After finishing a 2 years associate's degree and 7 more years of school, I graduated and was actually making less out of college than I was before I went into college. As a general, with my dad.
That stinks. Well, and I met you, I think I met you in 2020-ish. The first time I actually really met you was walking through that 4-story building in Salt Lake.
That's right.
And so an old, I can't remember the name of the building now, but anyway, an old building that they were looking at taking these old apartments and turning them into condos.
Yep.
But between the earthquake, there was
a lot of
so much stuff that I was able to take a hint.
There's a reason I walked.
Yeah, I was able to take the hint behind Jaiden's notes and be like, we're not gonna buy this one. It was like I think 130 units or something. But
it was a big
anyway.
one.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's not a typical engineer either.
No.
Because Jaiden has 2 different hats on. He's a real estate investor, and a lot of you guys should know that. And he's an engineer. So any real estate investors or anything in real estate, this is someone you definitely want to know, because this person will be able to, and his company will be able to kind of look at it a little bit differently.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit about like the engineering side and things like that. I know you also invest in like hotels and motels. Motels, no motels.
All motels right now. We're looking at building our first hotel.
Okay.
We like I said, graduated from college, got into engineering, making $41,600 a year. Realized quickly that I needed a bigger piece of this pie. So I started looking for other investment opportunities, found real estate, played in the multifamily space, bought a six-plex.
What years was this?
This is 2015, 16 that I started looking into real estate, and I bought my first investment in 2018.
Okay.
It took me a few years.
Yeah.
Did you, being that you were, at that time you were just doing, at the time you were doing just engineering before you got into real estate.
Yeah.
What was there a class you went to? What got you into real estate in general from engineering?
Generally, I mean, this is kind of a silly story, but I was doing my research during the 2015 election cycle, learned about this guy named Donald Trump, read a book that he co-authored with Robert Kiyosaki and said, I resonate with Robert Kiyosaki. I got to read more of his stuff. Got into all of his books, his Rich Dad courses, learned from him and Ken McElroy and a couple of those other guys, and got into real estate and said, that's what I want to do.
What was your first real estate deal you did?
It was outside of house hacking. We converted our basement to a rental unit and started to live without a payment, which was awesome. I bought a six-plex in Ogden, Utah on seller finance. It was 2% down, which was $10,000 on the six-plex that I borrowed from my home equity line of credit. We were just going hot and heavy. I thought it was a crazy deal. We bought it for $525 in 2018.
For 6 units? Yeah.
For 6 units. Tested positive for meth. All the things I was like,
we've done a few of those.
Freaking out about. And we ended up dumping everything we had, cash flow, back into the property. We didn't take a check for 3 years, but turned around and sold that for almost $1 million 3 years later.
Sweet.
So
that's awesome.
Huge.
Yeah,
awesome.
That's big.
Yeah,
I was going to say 2018 was a great time to be buying.
Great time to be buying. And it was still scary. Yeah, that just like that first deal always is.
I got to ask, because we all have, not all of us, but we have that partner or a spouse. Like, what was she saying when you were like, hey, I'm an engineer. Now I want to try this real estate investing on the side. You obviously were doing both. So you didn't want to leave the food on the table type of opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, we
business.
had baby on the way and get at home. She's like, what are you doing? Quitting your job. Her grandma actually called me and said, what are you doing? You have a master's degree, you're quitting your job to go full-time real estate, and said, you better know what you're doing. I had to build that trust a little bit with my wife. We ended up wholesaling an 18 unit. I put $100,000 in the bank and said, I'm doing this. And that's awesome. There's a little bit of trust that she had to have in me and confidence, but we had kind of a track record that we were working from.
That's cool.
So
that's awesome.
We quit, didn't make a dime for 6 to 7 months, but we haven't looked back since then.
Yeah. Same thing with me. I mean, when I tell everyone, both in residential real estate and getting commercial, my residential took me about 8 or 9 months to make my first paycheck, but it was, I already had a 40-hour-a-week job. I worked at a credit union, American First Credit Union here in Utah. I started as a teller, then I was a loan officer. Then in commercial, it took me 18 to 20 months, so it's a grind, but it's almost like I always use the comparison. It's almost like you're on a rocket ship. Ready to waiting to be launched. Then right when you launch, you're like, okay, now I am understanding this. Now I want to learn more and get more education on this type of big conglomerate thing called real estate.
Definitely. Yeah. I think that's a good segue into something that I truly believe is that a lot of real estate investors get big eyes when they hear, I'm going to get into real estate. And then deals churn 8 to 10 to 18 months on some of these things, and they don't have any money to put food on the table. And that's, for sure. That's kind of when I started looking back at engineering and realized that these two skills that I have really mesh and jive really well.
Yeah. So now you have 4 kids.
4 kids.
Tell us about your kids and your family.
I've got an 8, 6, 4, and 1-year-old.
Oh,
my youngest is a girl. Yeah. So
3 boys and a girl.
3 boys and a girl.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, we're coaching T-ball and baseball this spring for 2 teams. And
that's so fun, dude.
It's way fun. It's busy, but it's fun.
It is fun. This guy used to call, and I call it to this day, organized chaos or chaotic.
Oh, chaotic.
It's very chaotic.
Yeah, there you go. It is chaotic. It's not cathartic. It's chaotic. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
No, that's sweet.
Fun. Yeah, they're my everything, my why. And that's part of the reason that I decided to go out on my own, is so that I could spend more time with them, because the commute back to Salt Lake, working 40 to 60 hours a week, it's just tough.
Yeah, it is.
Well, you said the commute now, because you guys are neighbors now.
Yeah.
We live in Mountain Green together. Mountain Green, Utah, for all the people that know, by Morgan.
Morgan County, or is that Weaver County still?
Morgan County.
It is Morgan County.
It is Morgan County. Mountain Green is Morgan County.
There you go.
It's funny because growing up, I don't know if you've experienced it, but growing up, and I had someone tell me this the other day, like, oh, you live in Fountain Green? And Fountain Green is way far south.
And also in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, middle of nowhere.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, it's Mountain Green. It's pretty nice. And then I compare there's Wasatch Peaks, or they know Snow Basin. I'm like, I'm 5 minutes from Snow Basin. Like, oh, that's cool.
When you say it that way, then you're like, okay.
Yeah. But we found out about a year ago that we both live in Mountain Green. So that's cool.
It's fun.
Yeah, that is right. It is a pretty place too. So you're lucky.
Very
lucky. Love it. Okay. So we've talked a little bit about the, engineering and real estate. Yeah. What's one thing that you would consider like your superpower? That's something we ask a lot of people.
I come from a unique background. Like, I see things differently than most other real estate investors. When I look at a deal, we see value add opportunities differently. We look at timelines differently. We look at dollars up front.
Sorry to interrupt you. You say we, like how big's the team? Is it you have a partner? When you say
I've
we,
got 9 employees now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's me and my wife own the business, and we got 9 employees.
Cool.
We're growing.
That's cool.
It's good. But we approach things from a different angle than a lot of other engineers or real estate people because we wear both hats a lot of the time.
In residential and commercial?
Residential and commercial.
Cool.
Yep. So that's the aspect that we've been really dumping a lot of time, effort, and energy in the engineering side is to get into that commercial space a little bit better. We've kind of built the business on the residential side, servicing real estate investors, lenders, house flippers, and kind of focusing in on that niche. And it's been really good, but we also really love the commercial aspect. And we found that we can add a ton of value to these big commercial developers by partnering with them on some of these bigger deals.
Like what's considered a bigger deal that you're working on?
One right now that we're working on is a 2.6 million square foot house or warehouse.
So that's a big house.
That is a big house. It is a big warehouse too, actually.
Warehouse.
Is it like new development
40 acres,
or is it like already existing that you're
brand new? Yeah, our value add to this project, the way we got into this was our unique technology implementing helical piles or deep foundations on the foundation system. So we're saving
those
the developer,
engineering words.
Yeah, we're saving
That's
the
good,
developer over $6 million on this foundation
Wow.
package just because we're designing it better. So
Wow.
my fee fits nicely into that $6 million pocket. But,
dude,
Good.
that's awesome.
Cool. And that is like a big clear span building or?
yeah, big clear span building.
Cool.
Yep.
Do you stay in Utah or do you go outside of Utah?
We're nationwide.
Okay. So like
outside of California. I don't want to till in California.
Imagine that. So where's this property out of? Like what state?
Illinois.
Okay, it's in Illinois. So see, it shows how far that he can do it from remote. You know.
Yeah. Do the laws and things like as far as like permitting and that kind of thing, like is it fairly similar? Or?
My license is reciprocable in 49 states. That's why I don't want to do California. What's
that mean?
Reciprocable means that the other states will honor my Utah professional engineering license.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So they have reciprocity. They do that in real estate brokers as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can practice in any state except California. But yeah, it's pretty simple. When I get a set of drawings from an architect, I can do all the work remotely. A lot of construction administration. Occasionally during construction, we will go out on site, but that's just an opportunity for me to go see the project and answer any questions while I'm there.
Yeah.
So do you stay away from like an architectural, like or have you ever looked at like partnering with an architect just to kind of keep it all in house?
Yeah. Yep. That's some of the things that we're working on right now. I've actually got an architect on board with one of our developers right now for a 100 unit hotel here in Utah. And that's as granular as we'll get there, but we are partnering to roll 100% of our fees into the project so that
that's awesome.
The developer doesn't have to bring, we're taking an equity piece, but their risk capital or out of pocket up front is significantly less.
Which I will also say real quick, I love that idea because not only does it lower their CapEx when they're doing the design and getting the process done, but also when you've got some skin in the game, you're going to do it really well.
Yeah.
Right.
When hey, not only are we going to be
better,
we're not going to do the cheapest or cut corners because we're going to have a piece of this and we want it to not fall over with the first windstorm. Yeah. What were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say from my point of view too, as a commercial real estate investor, when I've done projects where I've involved an architect and an engineer, sometimes I hate it. I hate it because I'm like, I got to talk to these guys now. It'd be nice if it was just like this segue into
a little more streamlined.
Because I get why the architect's saying, hey, let's put it out for bid to 3 or 4 people that I've worked with. And then, but it's like, no, I just want to kind of keep it all in. And if it's great priced or whatever, granted, maybe I'll get another bid somewhere else, but I do think on my perspective, I speak for myself that I just have always like, we still got to wait for this. I'd rather just kind of see this whole thing up front.
Yeah. We're working on building the team out, but it takes time.
Yeah,
it does.
Sure. That's the vision.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. What's one thing that like right now is got you kind of like passionate? What are you passionate about these days?
Right now, I've kind of built these 2 different branches of my company. We're in residential space, kind of picking what a lot of engineers consider to be low-hanging fruit, where we're serving real estate investors, lenders, attorneys, brokers, home inspectors, where it's fast turnaround, fast paced, and it's really hard. If you guys have ever tried to find an engineer who's critical for the appraisal and everything to come in to close the deal, to find some engineer that can show up in time and keep the deal moving along. And that's where we excel. We've built systems, processes, and people in place that can service that clientele really, really well. And then we've got the commercial end that's tackling all the design aspect and kind of the bigger projects on that end, which is a little bit different. And I've realized that they're 2 different business models. What I'm really excited about right now is I think we're going to try and franchise this residential deal to enable engineers across the country to kind of mimic our model and serve the country better.
And that's something I've never even heard of before, is having an engineering franchise.
Yeah,
which
it's
is
kind of a cool little model.
I don't know if do they exist, or is this like
not that I know of.
All right, Kay, you heard it first.
Let's go.
Jaiden.
Yeah.
He didn't want to.
That's cool.
There you go.
One thing I was going to ask is like everyone's talking about AI right now, right?
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that
up. Do you see a lot of stuff that you've already done or where you see the future in engineering with AI?
Yeah, we use AI every single day. All of my team members are utilizing it on a regular basis. It's not to the point where we're replacing any of like the critical components, engineers, drafters, and stuff like that. But a lot of our proposal writing, estimate writing, report writing, a lot of that stuff is all automated to the point that I can perform a site visit, and this is giving away trade secrets, but perform a site visit, go through and take the pictures, have AI help me create the first draft of the report. Then I go through, send it to my assistant who formats it all, inserts all the pictures, and then I just go read through it and make sure it all looks good, stamp it, and send it off. And that helps us accelerate the timeline on these time critical projects immensely.
Yeah, that's awesome. And at the end of the day, you do have to put your stamp on it. So you're not just turning it over. But that's
we
amazing.
feel really good about it.
That's cool.
We are preparing for the future to have AI do a lot of the engineering. Like, to be 100% honest, AI can tackle 80% of all engineering calculations really well. It's more time consuming for me to go through and back check its work because I still feel like I need to babysit it.
Sure.
But I can see the writing on the wall where this will be the future.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's cool.
So we've talked about the company, but where does the company Ballpark come into play?
Ballpark. I created Ballpark Acquisitions. Like I said, I was working as an engineer as a real estate company originally with the goal of someday buying a ballpark. That's kind of my big picture, long-term goal. We turned that into Ballpark Properties, Ballpark Engineering, and kind of long-term vision, migrate the two into one service company that can serve these big development clients. But
I mean, do you love baseball? Is that why?
I grew up playing baseball in high school.
We mentioned you're coaching, pitch, T-ball.
Yeah, we love it.
You already get the kids
That's
into
cool,
it. That's
man.
sweet.
Yep.
Okay, what's I have a funny question I've thought about a couple of times now, but we've talked about a couple of your wins, cool things you're doing. What's a lesson you've learned? Let's call it that.
I've learned.
Tell us about a lesson you learned.
Yeah, this is one that's come up a lot for me. Last year, actually 2021, I purchased a 26-acre development. It was raw ground. My plan was to put single family residential homes on this property. We picked it up for $700,000 on a 100% seller finance note with deferred interest payments for the first 12 months. I thought, this is a slam dunk deal. We're going to get this entitled, approved. It's all in the future land.
What year was this?
2021.
Okay.
It's all in future land use. General map had it in there. And I thought it was a really easy slam dunk deal. We were just going to file all the paperwork. I had 12 months to figure it out, apply for the subdivision, get it approved. And then we realized that local government is not very pro personal property rights, and they are very influenced by local residents who want to pay for their city council's campaigns.
For sure.
We had 18 different submissions to the city for various development projects that were all related around single family that matched the future use. And ultimately, every single one of those was denied, which was really frustrating for me. We built a big case with the state ombudsman to say, hey, we've got a case. We're going to get this pushed through. And the ombudsman ruled in our favor. And so I was like all excited. And then he broke me with the news that this is going to take 3 to 4 years to get this through the state to get it approved. At this point, we were already 2 years into our interest payments that had picked up.
Oh, wow.
And so we were into it almost $300,000 at that point and looking at another $300,000 in interest payments. And I just said, we're walking. So that was a really tough lesson for me to learn. And I think that moving forward, just lessons that
So you just gave back to the seller?
Yeah, we just gave it back in lieu of foreclosure.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to pull the Band-Aid. Yeah. There's a lot of people that continue to keep on throwing money at them, throw money at it, and
I had deep pockets.
It gets worse and worse,
Wait 20 years.
Well, anytime you bring the ombudsman's office into the story, things are getting a little serious too. Yeah. I don't have a ton of experience with that, but I know when that name's thrown around, you're like, okay, we're going to war with the city a little bit, or with the county, or whoever you're trying to get that through.
The best thing I appreciate with friends of mine and stuff, whether it's real estate or just regular business, is talking about what the bad stuff sometimes, because that's how we can learn from an audience more than wins. Because sometimes wins, it's like, oh, okay, that's all you talk about is wins. Yeah, I'm not learning from.
Well, that's the reason for the question. So I guess looking back on that, is there something you would have done a little differently or underwritten differently? What's the lesson you learned there?
Land eats twice a day. Like, there's no way to make
that's awesome.
make land profitable. I mean, it's tough to make it cash flow. It's tough to do anything with it. So looking back, if I could, I would just pay cash for it and wait. I think that's probably the best move to take on that particular investment.
Yeah, I got a couple proproperties that I'm just holding I wanted to push really hard, but I'm just holding right now with that. It's funny you say that because there was something else you said. Yeah, the other thing I learned too in commercial real estate is I had 3 developments And developments are ones that you take it from the ground up. You're constructing it and stuff, but that's hard because you have partners, limited partners that are investing money, investors, and they don't really get an interest payment for 2-3 years as well. Yeah. Whereas existing, I love existing. And so I have 3 in my portfolio that it took me about 3 years until we actually started making money. And those ones were the toughest because you're having a quarterly call with your investors and you're like, well, it's turning around. And then there's delays. Construction delays for 6-12 months.
Engineering delays.
Yeah, engineering delays.
Yeah, come on.
And so, it's funny you say that because that was my learning experience too.
Well, it taught me that I need to, like, if I want to get into this development game, it's important that I figure out how to leverage the cash flowing assets.
Yeah.
So it led me into my next hotel deal where we bought a hotel that had another parcel of land that we are working on a development right now. We have no pressure because we're cash flowing and like, we're making money. We can wait as long as we need to.
That's awesome.
And it's really
we call that in-place income, in-place cash flow. So you have that already in place while you're working on something else, and adding value.
Yeah. So that's one lesson that I've learned.
Yeah, that's great. That's a good lesson. Yeah.
Were you asking about his favorite book?
Yes. I always, every time we interview somebody, or get the chance to sit down, we ask about a book that you like. Obviously we like to read a lot of like self-help and business and finance books. Not very much nonfiction coming from our end of the, and not too much fiction either. There's just,
not that much fiction for me.
It's all
my
just
wife, opposite.
Stuff.
She's a fiction. Yeah.
So read like Clive Cussler's and things like that. Anyway, Westerns. Anyway, so my question for you is, is there a book that you continually go back to? It's always kind of, you're thinking about quotes from it, lessons you've learned from it. What's that book for you?
Yeah. For me, long story. I have 2 vehicles. One's a Corvette Stingray and one's a truck. They both have custom license plate.
You got to talk about the Corvette.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Corvette here in a sec.
I've got on my Corvette, the license plate says growth, and on my truck, the license plate says mindset. So growth mindset is kind of where that comes from. That's where I attribute a lot of my growth to. There's a book out there called Growth Mindset by Carol Dweck. I highly recommend it. It's one that I continually listen to and reread. I have a bunch of copies on my desk that I give out to clients.
Oh, cool.
That's cool. That's way cool. It's funny that those 2 names were available in the state of Utah.
I know.
Oh, yeah, actually.
Right? For real.
That's crazy.
Did you spell them just how they spell it?
Mindset, I had to go M1NDS3T.
Oh, there you go.
Growth was straight.
Yeah, that's cool.
There you go.
So,
that's cool.
Good. Yeah.
Well, okay. So quick story or recap for our listeners or anybody watching about your Corvette, because I know that was a crazy
wild story.
Yeah.
So I bought the Corvette in 2021 as a result of a business goal that I hit. My goal is to take my engineering company from $5,000 a month to $50,000 a month in Q1. So 3-month period. Hit that goal.
Which is a huge goal, by the way.
Mindset.
That is awesome.
That was awesome.
That's way cool. 10 times in 6 months.
Yep. 3 months.
Oh,
and
okay.
I bought the Corvette. Yep. Bought the Corvette and loved it for a year, put about 2,000 miles on it. And then we decided that since it was locked in on commercial interest at 3%, we would just turn it into kind of an asset. Started renting it out on Turo. Did that for a couple of years. Last July, it was parked at the Salt Lake City International Airport where it was reported stolen. So I got a phone call saying that my vehicle was stolen from the Salt Lake Airport. It was last seen westbound I-80 out of the state of Utah.
Hey, real quick, how did they know it was stolen?
So there was 4 people involved. The police caught 3 of the people that were involved in this, and the one person with the Corvette got away. They had video footage of it leaving. So there's some kind of altercation. The police report was very vague about how they knew it was going down. But it was
I thought maybe it was like your OnStar or something.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
No, they ripped out the OnStar unit before they left the parking lot.
Oh,
so they were there in the parking lot for a minute.
Actually.
They got into the vehicle by cloning the key fob. So with Turo, we have the key fob locked in the compartment there.
Yeah.
They don't have to have access to it in order to clone it. They just have to be within proximity. So they cloned it without actually doing any damage.
Wow.
Unlocked it. And
they are smart.
So they were pretty high tech.
Was his last name Rains? Just kidding.
No.
So then they drove out to where? California?
California, where it was at a chop shop for a day. They had to pull the windshield. They had to replace the VIN number in 3 locations so that it matched an identical vehicle. The vehicle that they chose was a blue Corvette Stingray out of Phoenix, Arizona, just like mine. And then from there, they were driving it to supposedly the border where it was caught in Texas. And then the police officer caught it on a random traffic stop, realized that the VIN number matched the vehicle that was in an insurance yard, looked at the vehicle or the manufacturer's decals to figure out where the other VIN numbers were, found that it matched one that was stolen out of Salt Lake. While I was on the side of the road, he called me and said, "Hey, I think I found your car. It's going to be at this tow yard. We're arresting the guy."
And then from the time that it's stolen to when was this?
I got it back a month ago. So July to just last month, we finally got it back out of insurance and
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that long.
Yeah.
But how long was this? How many days was this stolen?
10 days.
10 days.
Yeah, they put 3,000 miles on it.
Then it took another 5 months or however long, almost a year.
Between insurance, legal, and then the mechanic shop. There's only, $15,000 worth of damage between the flying out GM's engineer to check all the modules, get the OnStar replaced, and touch up the paint, new tires, new windshield.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It was brand new when you got it back.
Brand new when I got it back.
Yeah. Geez. Yeah.
So I just sold it yesterday, actually.
You just sold it yesterday?
Well, no, that's why I said I just saw a post where he's like,
because you have a new goal? Is that why?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you just want to get rid of that little bit of a nightmare.
Little bit of a nightmare. It's probably both.
Yeah.
On my vision board right now is the McLaren 720S Spider. So I want to get
that's a nice one.
someday.
My friend was looking at that last week.
In all reality, I have 4 kids. I drive a truck with a ladder in it all the time. So I'm kind of looking at the ultimate Denali Ultimate. Highway autonomous, $120,000. Not bad, but
I don't
really
know what that
nice
is.
car.
Yeah. I have to look that one up.
Cool. Well, I love that you just got
truck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice truck. Really nice truck.
Yeah. But I can work on the road because it's highway autonomous. So that's kind of where I'm looking.
That's cool.
Yeah. Take a nap.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
That's right.
If it's like the Teslas, when you close your eyes, it says open your eyes. It'll turn off. It'll turn off the auto drive.
Yeah.
And it doesn't see your face. But anyway, well, cool. Well, dude, there's so many good stories. Honestly, it was great to just catch up with you a little bit.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Love hearing a little bit about your insight and just that crossover. Like I said at the beginning, the crossover between engineering and creative financing and all the things we talked about. I think it's great. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thanks again, man.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate you.
Well, until next time, invest in your future.
Invest in yourself.
This is the Flat Bill Investors Podcast signing off.